One of the most persistent myths in everyday nutrition is that fresh produce is always superior to frozen. It's an intuitive belief. Fresh feels more natural, more immediate, more alive. But when you actually examine what happens to vitamin C between the farm and your plate, the frozen versus fresh debate gets turned on its head in ways that most people genuinely don't expect. Here's the problem with fresh produce that travels long distances. The moment a fruit or vegetable is harvested, its vitamin C content begins declining. Oxidation is continuous and unavoidable. The strawberries sitting in your grocery store's produce section may have spent several days on a truck, several more in a distribution warehouse, and additional time on the shelf before you bought them. By the time they reach your kitchen, they may have lost 20 to 40% of their original vitamin C content, all while appearing perfectly fresh and red and appealing. Flash frozen produce operates under a completely different timeline. Fruits and vegetables destined for freezing are typically processed within hours of harvest, at peak ripeness, when vitamin C content is at its maximum. The rapid freezing process essentially locks the nutritional profile in place. Frozen strawberries, frozen blackcurrants, frozen bell pepper strips, these products often contain more vitamin C than their fresh counterparts that have spent a week in transit and storage. This is not a marketing claim, it's straightforward biochemistry. Freezing stops the enzymatic degradation that continues uninterrupted in refrigerated fresh produce. The exception worth noting is peak season local produce. If you're buying strawberries directly from a farm or farmer's market, harvested that morning, the fresh version wins decisively. The vitamin C hasn't had time to degrade, and the whole food eating experience is superior. But that scenario describes a relatively small fraction of the produce most people actually consume. For the vast majority of purchases, supermarket produce bought once a week frozen is frequently the more nutritionally reliable choice, particularly for fruits consumed off-season. Thawing method matters more than most people realize. Thawing frozen berries at room temperature and leaving them sitting in their released juices allows vitamin C to leach out into liquid that often gets discarded. Cooking directly from frozen or blending frozen fruits directly into smoothies without thawing preserves more of the nutritional content. Refreezing previously thawed produce accelerates degradation further and should be avoided. Storage duration is the other practical variable. Frozen produce maintains its nutritional quality for roughly 8 to 12 months under consistent freezing conditions. Beyond that, quality declines. Buying in bulk is economically smart, but only if you're realistically moving through the inventory within that time frame. A freezer bag of blackcurrants forgotten for 18 months is not the nutritional asset it once was. The strategy works when it's active and intentional, buying frozen organic berries in volume, rotating stock regularly, and using frozen vegetables in cooked dishes straight from the bag. When frozen produce becomes an afterthought stored indefinitely, its advantages disappear.